Good morning. I'm Bob Zarkowitz, your host on this April 21. And my guest this morning is our Director of Finance, Justin Reeves. Justin, good morning to you.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
Thank you for coming on.
No problem.
Because you always have some good news for us, and I hope you have some this morning.
Always have good news. I do.
First of all, I want to thank our viewers for tuning in. Secondly, I'd like to ask the perennial question, are we in good shape, financially speaking?
Yes, we are in great financial condition. We just got the first quarter results in after March 31st, and again, great financial position when we compare to what we budgeted for as well as to the previous years. In saying that, I'd like to announce that I believe last year everyone was made aware that we got a huge property tax increase, or sorry, real estate tax increase. And luckily for 2016, that assessment decreased slightly by 7.2%.
Is there a reason for the decrease?
They didn't give an exact reason, but we did appeal the assessment last year, and I believe just the county or the state kind of assessed that it was probably a little aggressive in the increase, because the increase was right around 30.1%. So they actually decreased it for this year, which is definitely favorable. Still probably between 2 years net right around 22-23% of increase, but we budgeted for that increase, and we'll be seeing some savings of right around, I think it's $200,000 or so when compared to budget. So good news, wonderful financial positions. Thank you for the residents for paying their statements on time. We appreciate that. And again, as we accumulate profit and cash, we're just want to make sure we have the appropriate amount of savings for repositioning efforts and other capital expenditures.
I have a very small question or an observation.
Okay.
When I pay my bill, I put it in the slot. Who comes around and picks up those checks?
We do. So we have a department of myself, a financial analyst, an accounting office coordinator, a move-out coordinator, and a business office manager. And between our team, we go around and collect those payments.
Do this twice a day, maybe?
Just as the statements come out, everyone loves to pay their bills on time. So within that first week, we'll probably hit them once or twice a day, and after that, maybe every other day after that. Yeah.
One of the observations that I've made over a period of the 13 years is just about every year, the cost of entrance into an apartment here increases along with the COL. The extra money from the time that I paid until today, is that money used for, say, improvements around Green Spring?
So, great question, by the way. And as we think about profitability of the community and cash accumulation, that is part of the equation. So, part of the equation is the revenue minus the expenses. We have some amount of profit that we keep within the community. We don't distribute it like a corporation or a public corporation. And the other side of the equation is the difference in appreciation of interest deposits. So case in point, let's say you moved in and you paid $100,000 for your interest deposit. And someone moves in 5 years from when you moved in, and they replace your interest deposit, and theirs is $150,000. So that $50,000 difference goes back into the community. Again, remember, we have a cash savings of roughly $145 million, so we can pay for the repositioning project in Garden Ridge. Everyone knows that we're going to be doing a town center repositioning project in the next couple of years. So that cash is housed at the community. It's not distributed to anybody else for, let's just say, rainy day repositioning efforts or just anything that may come up in the future.
Incidentally, what is the progress currently on the addition to Garden Ridge. Can we see a date where we put a shovel into the ground yet, or is it still in the preliminary?
So it's past the preliminary, but it's still in the county's permitting process. Unfortunately, I do not have a date to share.
No.
However, we as a management team are consistent in responding to the county quickly if they have questions, the various reports that they need. So we're always turning our documentation around within a week and a half, and they're just kind of going through their process as they see fit.
Another question that I have, Justin, and that is, do you have a weekly or a monthly or whatever monthly meeting with, say, General Services, Lynn Keefe, because you are the controller of the money and she has a certain project? Do you two get together and come up with whatever it is that you come up with?
So myself and the wonderful Lynn Keefe are always talking. We're always emailing, always talking, but we do have regular meetings once a month with myself, herself, and the project management team, just to talk about the varying projects, the cost associated with them, status of these projects on a monthly basis. But we're always having, let's call them ad hoc conversations throughout the month and the weeks and even on a daily basis.
And then in turn, do you file forgive me, but a weekly, monthly report to corporate as to what's going on with finance here at Greenspan?
Yeah, so it's our reporting schedule is really monthly. So we have various monthly reports between internal departments. Corporate wants to see things a certain way, and I'm just finishing up a quarterly report for our board of directors and our corporate partners as well. So I would say that we're constantly reporting on financial results and talking about opportunities we have, what's going well, what do we need to work on. So we're constantly monitoring the business. I personally probably monitor it every week, every other week, but monthly is the time that I'm I guess obligated to provide these reports to various parties.
To use my words, I'm sure that you're on top of things. You have to be.
I don't like procrastination or being late, so.
Good. For the benefit of our new residents, can anybody go over and ask your secretary if you're available, walk in and chat with you about finances?
The finance office is always open. So between the positions I named, the majority of us sit in the town center finance office, but our business office manager, FEMA Watson Brown, sits in the continuing care building.
Okay.
And her door is always open as well. So just stop by, ask to see myself, Greg Zernhelt, Marcia Ware. If you have move-out questions, we have a move-out coordinator, Dana Brown. And again, FEMA Watson Brown is our business office manager located in our continuing care building.
Where is that specifically? You say continuing care?
Oh, yes. So it's on the first floor across from the admissions office. So you would walk in the front door, the welcome desk would be on your left. You would make that left down the hallway, and she's the first office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So bottom line, Justin, what else can we talk about?
Just happy that our residents are enjoying our community. They're paying their bills on time. We are financially stable, and I will point out that I read an article this morning, as a matter of fact, that our rate increase that we instituted in 2015 was below the national average.
Oh, really?
So our independent living rate increase was 2.5%, but I read this morning that the national independent living rate increase for CCRCs was 2.7%.
So we're really in good shape.
You're really in good shape.
I had a question, and it lost me, or I lost it. Oh, if I fail to pay my bill, what alarm is set off over at finance? saying, hey, this should be investigated?
So we monitor an accounts receivable aging, we'll call it, on a monthly basis. So we usually give people probably 60 days because we know people are traveling. You might forget a payment. So during that 60-day period, we really won't charge you any interest or penalties. But after that 60-day period, you might get a nice little letter from us or a call from us saying that you haven't paid your bill in 60 days or 2 months. Just kind of seeing what's going on. And most of the people are, oh, I forgot, or something happened with my bank account, and they'll pay the bill in full after we call them soon thereafter. So we don't have a huge issue with outstanding accounts or anything, so we don't have to make too many calls, thankfully.
Is this some kind of a red flag that maybe the person is unable to pay?
Yeah, that could be a red flag too, but it's a conversation. But luckily at Green Spring, we have residents who are financially stable. Luckily, we do a great screening prior to residents joining our community, where we know for a number of months and a number of years, they'll be able to live on the campus comfortably. We wouldn't want to put anybody at financial distress just for them to live on our community.
Well, I know Erickson's motto is that no person will ever be thrown out. I use the words loosely. But, and I'm thinking in terms of you and finance would have to have some kind of an indication that this individual is now unable. I assume that you would talk to Karen over in Guard Ridge and say, hey, is the bill really high on John Jones or Mrs. Lewis?
So I'll modify the statement. We will never throw anybody out based on financial conditions as long as they've abided by their residence and care agreement.
I accept your proviso based on financial conditions.
Correct.
Good.
So, and as we investigate outstanding balances, we do a thorough investigation just because sometimes everyone doesn't handle their own accounts. So we may have to talk to family members. We may have to talk to trustees or such. So we do a thorough investigation, and again, that's extremely rare.
Well, I'm sure
on
you
this
do,
campus.
Justin.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for taking time out from your busy day over there, conferences. But I thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And I look forward to hopefully seeing you again next month.
Next month. I
Take
appreciate
care of
it.
yourself.
You too.